Once again, if you guys like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming content as we get set for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500, as well as the upcoming Route 66 Nationals in Chicago and this weekend's Charlotte 4Wide Nationals. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of drag racing as well as the upcoming 500, be sure to subscribe today so you don't miss any of the action. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So my help coming into this morning for the qualifying boost session today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway was that we were going to have a calm session this morning, so that way I could leave and head out to the Charlotte 4Wide Nationals this weekend. But with anything involving the Indianapolis 500, it is anything except calm and normal. We saw some high speeds today, not what we would have expected with a qualifying boost session, but obviously, as many drivers said, this was more so a warm-up for the engine manufacturers to see where they were at with the hybrid system and everything in between. So we didn't really get to see the PR numbers, as many drivers said they were not going to go for it, but we did get to see our first break into the 230-mile-an-hour barrier this year so far. We also got to see our first collisions with the wall this year, some serious contact. We saw Graham Rahal graze the turns 3 and 4 wall yesterday. Wasn't that big of a deal besides breaking a piece on the right rear suspension, but today we got to see our first actual wrecks of the season involving two of the major stars heading into this year's 500. The first collection would be from Kyle Larson, who drifted into the outside turn 1 wall in the morning session. He would collide into the wall, break the right front suspension, careen down towards the inside wall before hitting the outside wall in turn 2 again. The car had massive damage on the right rear suspension as well as the right front, but nothing major to say that they're going to go to a backup car. It looks repairable. Most of the chassis was fine. It was just the suspension pieces that broke. The same, however, cannot be said for Takuma Sato, who had a major accident towards the end of the session. In the same spot where Kyle Larson hit his incident, he completely lost control of the race car, slamming into the outside wall in turn 1 before skidding down the racetrack and hitting the outside turn 2 wall again. The major damage to the car, destroyed the entire left side of the car. When we got back there, we saw Graham Rahal looking over the car, and he talked to one of his crew members saying that he was loose during his qualifying sim runs as well. So this is a massive story because the Rahal cars were impressively fast today. Takuma Sato was number 1 on the no-toe speed. We'll look at that here in a minute. Graham Rahal was up in the top 10 as well. Louis Foster was up in the top 10. We didn't get to see Dylan DeFrancesco because he didn't really get to do many laps today. But for the Rahal cars, who have historically struggled in the Indianapolis 500 qualifying, really seemed to turn a corner, and now they turned the wrong corner, and now it looks like Sato's going to be in a backup car, because when we were back there looking at the car, the crew members were just shearing parts off, trying to get to what they needed to do. They weren't trying to save anything. They completely ripped the shock cover off, just trying to open it. They weren't worried about anything. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that car is done. It is absolutely pancaked. It is absolutely destroyed. They couldn't even roll the car in. They had to have the tow vehicle lift it, put it back on a jack on a dolly, and then roll the car back into the garage. So a rough end of testing for Takuma Sato, who looked oh so impressive in the draft, in the toe speeds, and oh so impressive in the no toe speeds, as this is probably going to derail his shot at a 3-time Indy 500 champion, but you never know. A lot of surprises are left in store for the rest of the month. And without further ado, I talked about the no-toe speeds. Let's take a look at that, and then we can wrap up here today and then look forward to Charlotte this weekend. So like I said at the beginning, Takuma Sato ending out the session number 1 with a 232.56 with a 5. Kyle Kirkwood, your Long Beach winner, down there in 2nd. Louis Foster, the rookie, in a 3rd with a 232.63. Kevin Simpson down in 4th. Scott McLaughlin, the first Chevy, back there in 5th. Colton Herta rounds out in 6th. Joseph Newgarden, your 2-time defending Indy 500 winner, down in 7th. Pato O'Ward, the runner-up, with a 229.73 with a 5, ends out in 8th. Will Power rounds out in 9th, and Graham Rahal rounds out the trifecta for Rahal, Lerman, Lanigan. 3 of the 4 cars in the top 10, the one other car being Devlin DeFrancesco, who did not turn many laps in the session. That will round out the top 10 for the no-toe charts. As for drivers who were not that fast, Kyle Larson was the slowest on the no-toe speeds, but that was also because of the fact he only completed the 1 lap before he crashed into the wall, so that was pretty much install lap that he only got to do. So right now we're under a 2-hour break. They're going to bring the cars back out later today for the final complete open session as they go back to race trim for the final session of the day. I'm not going to be here. As soon as I'm done uploading this video, I'm heading out to Charlotte, North Carolina for the ZMAX Dragway Charlotte 4Wide Nationals. It's going to be an incredible race. I'm looking forward to my first time seeing a 4-wide event, my first time being out there in Charlotte. So if you want to see everything that's going on with the 1000s Top Fuel race, with Tony Stewart now being the defending winner of a national event, the return of Pro Stock Motorcycle after the incredible start between Matt Smith and Gage Nate Schreier with Richard Gadsden and Chase Van Sant. This is going to be a crazy weekend, as for the first time in over a month, the bikes come back, as well as the ongoing story in the pro stock war between KB and Elite, as we get set for the month off break to see where Elite can find the improvements for the upcoming summer months. So this is going to be a crazy time here in the NHRA. So if you want to see what's going on, be sure to subscribe today to the channel. Be sure to follow us on all social media pages down below. Mighty Mac 03 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And until tomorrow night from the Charlotte 4Y Nationals, this has been Mighty Mac. We'll see you next time.